Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Cara Hefty, but if you're here, you may know me as Cara Ostara on Instagram or on my blog or YouTube or possibly Facebook. So this is my first video as a diary. So you may or may not know Miss Niki Benedict. I will put her Instagram tag up here and in the comments. And I also believe that she has a Facebook page. We have made a promise to each other to try to make a video diary this week about anything. So there were no expectations. It was just get it done, make the promise to each other, and post it on our YouTube channels. Mainly for us, but if it helps other people, that is the road that we want to go down. So I'll just take a minute to tell you a little bit about myself, what I've been doing, what we plan to do, and where I'm at. So where I'm at right now is Silver Creek, Washington, in 1,000 Trails RV Park. It is very beautiful here. I tried to pick a background that was kind of fun to look at. You can't really tell, but the dark blue back there are hills or mountains, small mountainous hills. Also thought it would sound really pretty out here because you can hear the birds, you hear them, and the deer, and the bugs. I don't really know how you hear deer, but maybe walking through the forest as they're breaking tree branches, they might actually make a noise like a meh, something like that. So you learned something new today. But unfortunately, you can also hear the machine that's probably cutting down trees in the background because we're right next to a Christmas tree factory. So let's not dwell on that though. This is such a funny intro. I've never done this before. It's like, ugh, awkward cringe. But here we go. So my name's Cara Hefty. I'm 31 years old, and I live in a van down by the river. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but in 2018, I made the decision with the help of others in my life, and events that had happened to change my life. I had worked for a giant corporate company for 10 years, and in 2018 I decided I had had enough. I had had all of my grandfathers pass away, so then you get this crisis of what is life, what is the point of life, am I fulfilled in life, do I want the amazing stories that they had, or is my life going to stay how it is? Which my life was amazing. I'm very grateful, but I'm super grateful I made the transition. So with the help of professional help, therapists, financial advisors, friends, and family that supported me, I sold my home, sold my vehicles, quit my job, cashed out some stock, took my 401k, everything, bought an RV, and started traveling. So my therapist and friends and family helped me come up with this plan. Originally it was 365 days of travel because I wasn't sure if I was going to make it after that, because who leaves kind of the white picket fence lifestyle and goes into RV life without a backup plan? To this day, I'm so grateful that I did that, and I have absolutely no regrets. Well, I may wish I would have done it a little bit sooner, but I had a 24-foot Class C Thor Chateau, and I towed a 1999 Honda CRV behind me for a year. I actually did it for 16 months by myself and my two Great Danes, Chibi and Charlie. We went to, I think it was 49 states, over 22 national parks, and drove like over 30,000 miles in the 16 months. I completed my goal of living in the RV, finding a community on the road. So that was 2. Number 3, I wanted to be a work camp RV host. I did that for 5 months in Salem, Oregon, in the middle of winter. So I learned a lot about Oregon, and maybe don't want to live there full time because of the gloomy winters. And then my 4th goal was to keep up with my blog and podcast. So I kept up with the blog until recently. I'm getting back into that, and the podcast never happened, but that's okay. I mean, you got to at least set a goal, because if you don't try at all, you know, then you never get a chance. So I tried, and maybe down the road that'll happen. While I was on the road, I did meet my current partner, Gregory, a King Crusader. I will put his handle up here as well, so you can follow his adventures, which are all with me. So you're going to see duplicate things, but from his perspective. And we met on Hinge. I was in Sedona, Arizona, and he was traveling to Las Vegas, and we talked for 10 weeks before we met in person. He's actually from Oregon, so on Christmas he went to visit his family and then came and visited me. We have been together for a little over a year and a half now. We both live in his RV, which is a 38-foot, it's a 2004 Fleetwood Pace Arrow. And the time we've been together, we did lose Chibi May, my 11-year-old Great Dane, which was hard. He has converted into a dog owner and now a Charlie lover. I won't say he's a dog lover, but I think he loves Charlie. And we've renovated our RV. We've had plenty of maintenance issues in the RV. And we've built a relationship, and he's my best friend. So I think some days I love my sisters. I love you, Krista and Cassie, but I don't know if I could do this with you all full time, and somehow it works with him. So fingers crossed. It keeps working. I know I love him so much. So we got really lucky. We were both solo traveling, and now we do everything together. I work now full time at a company called Bite Stand. I found the job on the road, so that was my goal after 365 days. And at this point I'm in 16 months deep, and I'm like, whoa, I'd saved up enough money. I'm not a what would you call it, like a fun baby. Like, my parents didn't help me. I was 29 when I made this decision. They gave me no money to do this. I bought my RV outright. I worked hard for 10 years. I was saving money. I didn't know why I was saving it. I just knew that's what you should do to be successful. So I did have the money. I have not spent it all, but at 16 months of spending money and not making any, you got to make a decision. You got to get back in the workforce and be a productive member of society, in my mind. And I was craving a purpose and a passion and a reason. Gregory and I travel a lot slower than what I traveled. I moved every 3 days. Now we move every 2 to 3 weeks. So imagine kind of moving. Your partner works all the time. You don't. You're experiencing things by yourself, or you're waiting for them to get off of work. So I was like, you need some money, and you need a purpose, in my eyes. So it took me 4 months. I do not have a college degree. All I have is experience with my company, which was HR, leadership, development, warehouse management, distribution. And 4 months later, I worked super hard. I treated it like a part-time job, trying to find a job and put in resumes. I applied for everything. I got denied for everything except for 2 jobs. I took one with the app company. So I absolutely love it. I'm customer support. I work about 30 hours a week, 6 hours a day. And I mean, sometimes I complain about my customers, but I love it. I wake up, I walk to my desk, I have my coffee, I work my 3 hours, then I have a 3-hour break, I work out, we go explore, and then I go back to work for 3 hours. And on California time, West Coast time, I'm off by 3 o'clock, so we get to explore. So I am working now. And I think we still have Charlie Ray, the Great Dane. And I think those are like the major updates. So this video is already a little over 8 minutes long, and I feel like I talked really fast, but my phone's running out of storage, to be honest. So I was like, okay, you have to talk and you have to get like these points in there before you run out of storage, and then you need to go and download all of this to your computer and edit and put like a little title to the video. But I wanted you all to know who I am. A little bit about why we live the life that we live, the purpose of this video, and something exciting. So I think that's all I'm going to include today. I could unpack a lot of things and a lot of emotions and stories and events that have happened, but maybe this is like a little teaser into what could happen. So give Niki and I a follow if you're curious about RV life. So she travels solo now. She's following kind of in the footsteps that I was in when I started my journey 3 years ago. So give Niki a follow on her YouTube and on her Instagram. follow her journey, because she's coming from this perspective as brand new, and that storming stage of figuring things out, and her personality and her mentality and her goals. So give her a follow. You'll get a totally different perspective. Give me a follow. Now I've transitioned from solo RV life to traveling with a partner, from moving fast to moving slow, to compromise, to loving, to cooking in a small space together, cleaning in a small space, renovating. It's just totally different. So we are both here from a place of light and love and kindness and education. And I think we both wish that we had someone that had done this before us that we were close with. So we use each other as support. And fun fact, we have never met each other in real life, but I feel like we were road sisters. So eventually it will happen. So yeah, so encourage us, follow us, encourage us, comment. What do you want to see? What should we make more videos about? Should it be less talking? Should it be more travel? Should it be more animals, flowers, excitement, relationship stuff, exercise? Because we do all of that. We're real women on the road that struggle with everyday shit. We've just sold our homes, quit our jobs, sold our cars, and now we live in a tiny space that moves. So I really appreciate you sticking around in the video. Hopefully that noise back there was not too loud. Pray for the Christmas trees. And maybe we'll see you next week. We'll see how we feel about this and hopefully keep going. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Bye.